Ok. Ok. Entonces lo enseñas así y te paras allá.
Ok.
¿No lo pausaste?
No.
Bien.
Ya.
Listo.
Si te estaba grabando, entonces
Después lo va a cortar. ¿No? One shot. No importa. Ahí está. Okay. So, hello everyone. Thank you all for your time here and for listening today. Today I'll be presenting to you Shrek, a timeless movie, and exploring its unique impact on fairy tales and society. So, what are we waiting on? Let's begin. So, the introduction. The unconventional hero. So imagine if the hero was a cranky ogre, the princess had a hidden truth, and the Prince Charming turned out to be a villain. Shrek stands out as the smartest animated film because it flips fairy tale norms, offering laughs for everyone and sharing valuable life lessons. To continue, Shrek subverts the traditional fairy tales. How is this truth? Well, because of its reversal traditional story roles, it features the ogre, the ugly character, as a hero instead of it being the prince or the one who saves the helpless princess at the end of the story. So this reversal, this flip of the story creates irony and humor and challenges the normal ideas of what a happy fairy tale movie is. So as stated by Nicoya Valley High School by Virginia Desai and Lily Ha, Shrek is the best movie of all time. It has humor, adventure, and a sweet message. Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy gave an outstanding performance as Shrek and Donkey. I mean, who doesn't think of Donkey when thinking of the best animated character of all times? Moving on, Princess Fiona breaks the mold. The reversal of the traditional fairy tale formula isn't just for laughs. It challenges the beauty standard norms, and Fiona tends to do that. She dismantles and distress trope. She shows herself as strength, powerful and independent. She combats the stereotypes, and she at the end accepts herself as the ogre form. This promotes self-acceptance and redefines beauty standards in fairy tales. Classical role reversals, humor and irony. Shrek flips the script on classical roles using humor and irony from old conventions and of the happy endings. That they're not just reserved for only pretty folks or for the Prince Charming, right? So the use of humor and irony definitely helps subvert the traditional beauty and heroism ideals, emphasizing that happiness isn't limited to the traditional attractiveness, and that encourages audience to rethink how we process the societal beauty standards and norms. As explained by Medium Shrek, Breaking the Mold of Classical Fairy Tales by Angelica Valdez, many allusions to classical fairy tales are made throughout the movie. The scene in which Lord Farquaad is choosing which princess is to be his wife. There are two well-known princesses featured, like Snow White and Cinderella. However, instead of portraying them as the perfect princesses, they're portrayed as flawed and watered down, and that they have their own imperfections. Moving on to humor and appeal in Shrek. Universal appeal of humor across all ages. So we all know Shrek, and it's still funny despite that it was released back in the early 2000s. It includes clever jokes that adults understand, and the animated scenes create fun too for the children. It is also very appealing to children and accessible humor, like I mentioned before, for the adults. According to the New York Times, Shrek at 20, How a Chaotic Project became a beloved hit. Shrek is still a beloved offbeat fairy tale whose characters and jokes continue to permeate pop culture, reaching another generation of fans. Layered humor for a different audience. It features multi-level humor appealing to different age groups, like I mentioned, from like kids to teenagers and to young adults. So this helps adults catch those puns and catch those smart indirects behind those humorous jokes. So this layered humor creates a richer, more engaging experience, as explained and argued by Old Man by BuzzFeed News. He argues that beyond the green ears and the cute ugly merge and the endless sequels, Shrek worked and still works because it's generally edgy. It subverted the machinery of animated tales by questioning who they are in the first place. Lasting impact on pop culture. We all know to this day that you can find memes and all kinds of quotes and all kinds of jokes of Shrek. So that helps us understand and grasp that Shrek has still stand out till this day. So Shrek impact goes beyond its original release. It is widely referenced in various forms of media and of media types, and especially the characters and quotes have always become iconic and so popular and famous, and have demonstrated to stand out to this day. It continues to resonate with so many generations and even worldwide relevance. Strong message about acceptance. So the fact that Shrek stays the same and that Fiona decides to stay in her ogre form gives us that message and that lesson that it is very important to accept who we are and what we have in the present, right? Emphasizes the importance of self-acceptance, shows that happiness comes from embracing our true identity and who we are as a person. It shows us that we should not judge ourselves and judge others just merely on appearances and merely on what people tend to have or what they seem to have, not judge based on that. Don't judge on the superficial level. So it reinforces that love and friendship aren't limited to conventional beauty. As argued by the Kohuli films, explained that upon first watch, the story has a beautiful message to teach kids and people. True beauty is what lies within, but upon further examination, Shrek is much more complex, yet still child-friendly explanation of systematic oppression and how it impacts ourselves, our own sense of self, and those around us. So Fiona's transformation and significance. The fact that Fiona evolves from her shelter to empower gives us a very inspirational message and encourages many others to take the same path as she did. Princess Fiona manages to hide her truth and her secret, but then she embraces that and she is so proud to claim that she is an ogre at night, and she accepts that. So she challenges the idea of beauty is not only physically but rather within. She chooses to remain in her old form, thereby rejecting the idea that she does need to look perfect or fit into the normal society stereotypes. According to rewriting beauty standards throughout DreamWorks, portrayal of Shrek and Fiona by Christine O'Correll and Hayden Peters, the characterization of Princess Fiona as the antithesis of modern fairy tale princess is a true representation of beauty redefined. Fiona's sense of independence and confidence in herself would be likened to that of the mythical norms and masculinity. Moving on, Shrek challenges beauty standards. So because, like we mentioned again, Shrek defies that conventional beauty standards, highlighting the authenticity over appearances. He challenges us and those critics to stop judging based on societal norms and superficial ideals. Shrek and Fiona tend to find their worth in being true to themselves despite the humor and despite the irony behind the movie. So this promotes acceptance of diverse forms of beauty for everyone, and it promotes equality and inclusiveness. And for example, the article Shrek brings a fairy tale message of acceptance by Joel Henderson states that Shrek is great for kids, but it has its moments adults can relate to. This message makes it special for everyone because beauty is not in the true is truly the eye of the beholder. Impact on audience perception. Shrek and Fiona's journey promote acceptance and self-reflection, encouraging viewers to reconsider the perceptions of beauty and self-worth, highlighting the value of individuality, and fostering a more inclusive definition of beauty. Last but not least, Shrek isn't simply an animated movie or amusing cartoon. It sends a powerful statement upon mindfulness, and it delights all demographics and questions typical stories as animated films. Unpredictable characters as well as storylines turn over the usual fairy tale script for kids to have fun and adults to enjoy the humor behind it, because it works on multiple levels. It promotes accepting of others beyond more than surface appearance, as well as being authentic to yourself. So next time you get to watch Shrek, consider paying attention to those smart puns behind each scene, and enjoy Shrek. I do truly believe that Shrek is not just an animated film, it's more than that. It is a timeless movie, and it promotes self-love and self-acceptance. So love yourself, and thank you all for listening tonight. I appreciate it.